They smiled when you told them your good news, but something felt off. You couldn't name it. You just felt it. That strange, cold energy behind you get a promotion. You share the news. Instead of, that's amazing, you get a, but, that company's been struggling anyway. I heard that role is stressful. This is called minimization, a defense mechanism. When someone feels threatened by your success, their brain works to shrink it, not for your benefit, for theirs. There's a second pattern that often follows. They start dressing like you, talking about your interests, starting the hobby you get a promotion. You share the news. Instead of, that's amazing, you get a, but, that company's been struggling anyway. I heard that role is stressful. This is called minimization, a defense mechanism. When someone feels threatened by your success, their brain works to shrink it, not for your benefit, for theirs. There's a second pattern that often follows. They start dressing like you, talking about your interests, starting the hobby you just started. At first, it feels like flattery. Someone says something nice, but you leave the conversation feeling worse. You look so good. I could never pull that off. Wow, you got that job? Good for you. These are backhanded compliments. On the surface, positive. Underneath, tiny daggers. But here's the darkest sign on this list. You fail at something, and in their eyes, there's a flash. Not sympathy, relief. Germans have a word for this, Schadenfreude. Pleasure from someone else's misfortune. Neuroscientists at Princeton, every favor they do for you gets remembered. Every time you do better than them, they notice. The relationship starts to feel like a competition you never agreed to enter. Psychologists call this social scorekeeping, driven by what's known as dispositional envy. They're always measuring who has more, who's winning. And there's another pattern hiding nearby. You didn't ask for feedback, but you're getting it anyway, on your choices, the group chat you're no longer in, the dinner you found out about after the fact. Quiet exclusion is one of jealousy's most painful tools, and it's hard to confront because nothing was said directly. Researchers have found this kind of social exclusion activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain. And here's the second half of this pattern. You're going through something hard, and the person who was always around disappears. For a jealous person, supporting you in your low moments, your idea gets mentioned in a group, and before it can land, they jump in. Where did you even hear that? This is credibility undermining, designed to make others doubt you before they can be inspired by you. But the most subtle sign of all lives in the body, not in words. Watch their face the exact moment something good happens to you. A flicker, eyes that look away too fast, a smile that doesn't reach the eyes. Let me tell you about Priya. Priya and her best friend Jade had been close since college. They told each other everything. When Priya got engaged, Jade threw the party, smiled in every photo, gave a speech that made people cry. But then, quietly, things shifted. Jade started questioning the relationship. Are you sure he's the right one? When Priya's wedding photos went viral, Jade's first comment was about how different she looked in person. When the venue got a magazine feature, Jade forgot to mention it to anyone. None of it looked. Here's what jealousy really is. At its core, it's not about you. It never was. Jealousy is what happens when someone looks at your life and sees proof of what's possible. Instead of feeling inspired, they feel threatened, because your success asks a question they don't want to answer. Why not me? That's their battle, not yours. But left unaddressed, jealousy doesn't stay quiet. It starts with backhanded compliments. It ends with quiet betrayal. You don't need to cut everyone out, but you do need to stop being surprised. See the signs. Trust your instincts. The people who are truly for you Your success doesn't make them smaller, it makes them louder in your corner. Think about the people closest to you right now. Run through these 10 signs, not with anger, with clarity. Because awareness isn't paranoia, it's protection. If this video hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, which of these signs have you personally experienced? Be honest, because I guarantee